waiting for the video to go live. Sometimes it takes a few moments. All right, I think we're going live. How are you doing, Girl Scouts? Hello and welcome. It's so nice to be here on a Thursday morning with you. I'm in northern Minnesota, so it feels still a little early. It's about 10 a.m. where I am at. I wonder where you're at. So if you want, this is kind of fun. A lot of times in comments, I ask you to share your troop number, which I always love hearing. You can always share that. But also let us know maybe what time zone you're on. So that can be our fun question for today, since this is a different time of class. We're doing that on Thursdays. So if you want to share in comments, if you post it on the Konjo video, I'll see it in real time. If you post it to Girl Scouts Lakes and Pines, Miss Hannah will see it. But let us know what time zone you're in, because I know there's a lot who are joining us from councils all around the country, and I know we're all at different places. So the theme for today's class is going to be waking up yoga, and that maybe is because the teacher, Miss Melissa here, is feeling a little sleepy. The weather is a little overcast. It might look bright in my house, but I have lights on to make it artificially look a little brighter than it is. So I wonder what it's like at your home. But we're going to gently wake up our bodies. This is another week of Girl Scouts Love Yoga. We're adding Thursdays. I'm not wearing the fancy shirt, but just a reminder, this is from Girl Scouts of Lakes and Pines. They are the ones who bring this to us every week and have added that second day. Class is going to run about 20 minutes at most. We'll all come back towards our screens at the end to say hi to each other. So for now, put your screen somewhere that you can hear me. Wave hi if you want. And then let's head to our spot where we're going to do yoga. So we're going to start today with some breath work. And because it's a waking up yoga class, we're going to be a little bit slower of a class. But if you'd like to join me, we're going to start in a seated position. And I'm going to move back far enough where I can see my feet on the screen so you can see it at home. Okay, that looks good. I've got my Yogi Bear to help with us. So hopefully you're in a seated, comfortable position. And let's just settle onto our seats. So one thing that we talk about in yoga sometimes is grounding. And that is kind of a big word. But a real simple way to think about it is noticing what parts of your body are connecting to the earth. So perhaps you want to sway to connect to the earth below you, the carpet, the floor, whatever is beneath you. Perhaps you want to invite some stillness, but just take a moment to arrive in your space. And then let's take one more moment before we move into our breath resource. Let's look around the room that we're in. And just take a moment and look around your space. Maybe you'd like to move your head as you do this. But notice the colors and the textures that are around you for your yoga class today. Nice. Good. And let's move into our first breath. So our hand is going to come onto our body if that feels good to you. I'd suggest perhaps one on your tummy, one on your heart. We're going to do bear breath today. Kind of thinking about our Yogi Bear and pretending that we are a bear that's hibernating and is very sleepy. So it's going to be slow breaths where we're going to take them in through our nose and then also out through our nose. So let's go ahead and begin. In through our nose and out. And in and out. And in and out. And to add a little bit more like a bear, let's express that in our body. So let's go ahead and come down onto the floor. You can be on your side for this if that feels good to you, or you can be on your back, like a bear in hibernation. So you pick your spot. Hands can go back onto your body if that feels good. They don't need to. But let's do our bear breath again when we go in through our nose, out through our nose. Here we go. In and out. In and out. Good. Do a few more bear breaths in your own time and notice if it calms down your body. Okay, I think you've got some bear breaths in. So let's move to our first kind of sequences. So let's go back to our backs if you were there. If not, go ahead and join me on your back. We're gonna have our feet onto the floor. Our hands are gonna go up towards the ceiling. And we're just gonna do some gentle movement. So first, our fingertips, we're gonna think about stretching them to touch the ceiling. We'll notice our shoulder blades come off the mat. And then we're gonna bring our hands back down towards our body. Arms stay straight, but we feel our upper body touch the floor. Let's do that again. We reach up, peel our shoulder blades off, bring them back down. Let's do that with our breath now. Breathe in, reach, breathe out, bring down. One more time. Breathe in, reach, breathe out, bring down. Good. Let's go ahead and lift our feet up in the air. You can have a bend in your knees if you'd like. And let's invite some gentle movement where we're going to move our opposite hand and opposite foot. So opposite hand and opposite foot go forward and back and then come back to neutral and we switch sides. So pick the other hand and other foot from before. So it's going to be at a diagonal. Go really gentle with yourself, but just warm up your body. See how this notice. Perhaps you want bends in your elbows, in your knees. Perhaps you want to try this with your legs and arms straight. So see what that feels like to wake up your body really gently this way. This also works our stomach muscles. You can get really intense with this. We won't get too intense. So go ahead and do one more time each side. And then when you're done, we're going to hug our knees into our chest, give a nice little squeeze, and we're going to invite some rocking. So explore what feels good in your body. Perhaps you want to rock side to side, or maybe you want to rock front to back. If you do that, just keep your chin to your chest if you invite a lot of rocking. Okay, let's come back to stillness. We're going to put our feet back onto the mat, and let's bring our hands out to a T now. So they're long around our body. We're going to lift one foot up in the air. So pick whichever leg you want to start with, but that one foot goes up in the air, and we're going to flex our toes down towards our noses and then point. We can invite some movement into our ankles by rolling it around. Perhaps you want to bend that knee and then straighten it. So really kind of wake up that one leg is the only one we're focusing on right now. And then let's go ahead and point the toe, and we're going to bring that foot down towards the mat. Have it tap the ground even if you want, and then have it come all the way up, and then flex your toes to point towards your nose, okay? We're going to do that one more time. We're going to point our toes. We're going to bring them down towards the floor. Good. You can tap if you want, and then come up and flex the foot so those toes point back towards our nose. It's a really big stretch there. Good. Shake out that leg and go ahead and place it back onto the mat. I hope it's feeling warmed up. Let's go ahead and do the other side and warm up the other leg. So reach your other leg up. Same thing, the bottom of the foot can go up towards the ceiling or the sky, and you can invite some movement. So circle your ankles, bend your knee and straighten. Just really kind of wake up that leg a little bit. Nice. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to invite our leg to go up high. We're going to point our toe and we're going to bring the leg down towards the ground. Perhaps it wants to tap, maybe not, and then come back up. Our toes point down towards our nose. We feel that stretch. Good. We're going to point our toes away from us. Bring our legs down towards the floor. Have it tap. One more time. Come up. And then we're going to flex our foot where our toes come back towards our nose to feel that stretch. Good. Shake that leg out. Good. All right. How are you doing? Are you feeling woken up? Perhaps. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to do a little bit more movement now. Let's put our knees towards our chest and we're going to roll up. So you can tuck your chin to your chest and rock and roll up a few times if you'd like, but we're going to meet coming up and then we're going to go right onto our hands and knees, okay? So come onto your hands and knees. This is our tabletop position. Good. Nice job. So let's take a a moment here and just notice our body. Remember that grounding that I talked about at the beginning of class? Let's just notice the parts of our body that are touching the floor. So let's spread our fingers wide and press into our fingers in our hand to notice that. So notice our knees touching the ground. Your toes can be tucked, so perhaps you want to notice your toes supporting you and giving you balance. Or perhaps you want to practice untucking your toes and feeling the top of your feet also pressing into the mat or the floor. But take another moment just to kind of notice. And then I'm going to invite you to tuck your toes so we have a little bit more stability. And we're going to do some gentle swaying. So first, we're going to turn our head and look back towards our tail or our toes. So we invite a nice little stretch on one side of our body. Nice. We're going to come back to neutral, and then we're going to peek over that other shoulder. Look back towards perhaps our heels. Good. Come back to neutral. Let's do that one more time on each side. So you can invite some sway as you turn and look. Open up that side body, and let's go to the other side one more time. Look back at that other side. Good. We're gently waking up our spine. Let's invite some cat-cow now. So first, let's go into cow. We're going to drop our bellies, lift our gaze. Good. Now let's go to the opposite of cat. We're going to round our back. Our gaze goes towards our belly button. You feel a nice stretch there. Nice. Let's drop our belly. Chest goes forward for cow. And one more time, let's round for our cat. Gaze looks towards our bellies. Really stretch that kitty pose. Good. Come back to neutral. And let's see how our balance is doing this morning. So we're going to lift one foot. So first, let's lift one foot, and we're going to stretch the leg back and push into our toes and push back on our heels to feel that stretch. I'm realizing Yogi Bear perhaps is in your way of viewing it in my body. But feel that little stretch. And then here's the balance. Let's go ahead and lift that leg up and just see how that balance feels. And just for one fun moment, remember on the floor when we did opposite hand to leg? Let's do that here when we lift up the opposite arm, so diagonal. See if you can hold it for a moment. And let's go ahead and put it all back down. Reset back to our tabletop. And let's go to the other side. So let's reach that other foot back. Toes are on the floor. Our heel pushes away from us to feel a little stretch here. Good. And then let's just notice how our balance is. So come back where you feel nice and straight, where you're feeling sturdy, I should say. And then lift that back leg up to see. If you want to see how your balance is doing, to lift the opposite hand up, you can do that. No need to, just a fun experiment though. Good. Let's go ahead and reset. Come back to tabletop. We're going to put our feet together. Our knees are going to come a little bit wider, and we're going to come back into our rock pose. Our hands are going to slide forward. Our forehead's going to come down towards the floor. Perhaps it even rests on the floor. And we're going to sit in our rock pose for a few moments. I invite you in your rock pose to come back to that bear breath, where we take a breath in and out of our nose, and we just notice our breathing. Perhaps it slows down. Take a few more bear breaths here. See if it lets you relax into your pose. Nice. All right, let's be gentle to ourselves. We're slowly going to come up to sit. So we're going to walk our hands back towards our body. Come on back up. Good. And then we're going to just sit on our knees. So you can invite your knees to come forward. We're going to sit actually on our shins, I should say. Good. If this feels good to you, stay here. Otherwise, you can do crisscross applesauce as well. We're going to do just a few side stretches to finish up our waking up sequence here. So we're going to bring one hand, and we're going to put it underneath our body. So we can lift up and actually sit on that hand, or we can just grab our foot with that hand. So pick a spot that feels good for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out this shoulder for just a moment. So our opposite hand can go down next to our side. It can also be on our thigh. But that hand that is down and secured underneath our seat, we're going to move our head away from that arm and just have our ear come to our shoulder for a moment. Take a breath or two. Good. Come back up to neutral. And we're going to switch sides. So we're going to untuck that hand, shake it out. Let's switch the other hand underneath our body. We can even sit on it. Nice. The hand can go to our side or a thigh. But let's go ahead and bring our ear to shoulder. Remember, it's that one away from the arm that's tucked underneath us. Remember to breathe. Or just, we always breathe, right? Remember to try not to stop breathing if the stretch seizes up in your body. Good. Let's untuck our hand. We're going to shake it out. And we're going to invite just a little bit more movement with our arms and our breast. We're going to keep our arms to our side, and we're going to take a big breath in. Our arms are going to come up. Breath out. Let's bring it down to our heart. We're going to do that 2 more times. Breath in, sweep up. Breath out, come down to our heart. 1 more time. Breath in, sweep up. Breath down, come down to our heart. Let's leave it there for a moment. Perhaps you want to close your eyes. But let's come back to our grounding and just notice once more everything of ours that is touching the floor is supporting us. Good. You can open your eyes if they're closed. I invite you to come back to crisscross applesauce if you'd like. And we're going to go into just a relaxation for today. So you can stay seated for this if you'd like. You can also lay on your back or your side if that's more comfortable. I'm not going to do quite as long of a relaxation as we usually do because we're a little bit longer of class time, of moving time, and it was a wake-up yoga sequence, so it was pretty gentle on our bodies, but we still want to give some rest. So wherever you're resting, I do invite you to close your eyes, and you don't have to do anything special here. So just notice how your body is doing and see as you take breaths in and breaths out, if perhaps you can invite some stillness. So let's invite some stillness to our hearts if they are feeling like they're fluttering right now. Let's invite some stillness to our minds if they feel like they're fluttering right now. Let's invite some stillness to our bodies if they feel like they're fluttering or jittery right now. I'm going to play a little bit of a song for you. And as I play this song, I just invite you to settle. See if you can give yourself time to just be. We won't go too long with this. We're going to go about a minute, okay? You can think about a brilliant light beam washing over your body right now. Beginning with your head, working down your spine, surrounding you inside and out until it's reached all the way down and out of your fingers and your toes. Stay there for a moment. And now I invite you to wiggle those fingers and those toes. Come out of that relaxing pose if you're still in it. And we're going to end class. So thank you so much, Girl Scouts, for being here. let's go ahead. We always in class together, but let's bring our hands by our hearts today to in class, and we're going to do kind of a gentle reminder for ourselves. So bring our hands by our hearts as a reminder to be kind with ourselves, with our bodies and our hearts. We're going to bring them up to our heads as a reminder to be kind to ourselves and others with our thoughts and what we think. And then we're going to bring them by our lips as a reminder to be kind with our words towards ourselves and towards others. We'll bring them back to our heart, and we're going to end today. On the count of 3, let's go ahead and say, have a good day, because we're kind of waking up wherever we're at, okay? All right, have a good day on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Have a good day. Thank you so much for being here, Girl Scouts. If you want to leave a comment of where you're watching from, our question for the day is, what time zone are you in? I'm going to leave a comment here that I'm in Central Time to let you guys know if you're on the Konjo video. Have a great day. It was so nice to see you. Again, I say this every time, so that's why I say again. Thank you to Girl Scouts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Lakes, and Pines for doing this. We've added on Thursday mornings for the rest of May. So I'll see you again for our next live class will be Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central Time, and then Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Time, okay? Have a great day, Girl Scouts. I hope you enjoy your Thursday, and we'll see you again soon.